So my ideal client, my ideal person is somebody who is a health and fitness follower, a follower of health and fitness and beauty. Those are my people. People who want their bodies to last them for a long, long time. Those are my people. Happy Sunday. Let's start. So today we are talking about skinny games. I didn't know if I should call it Hunger Games or Skinny Games. So it's the GLP-1 agonists, the games we play with GLP-1 agonists to get you to this to the skinny version, to skinnier versions of yourself that you perhaps like best. The only skinny games I like to play are the ones that are still in the realm of health and does not become a disease or a disorder. Because if we're curing you from obesity, we're not trying to dunk you into the land of disease in some other dimension of reality. The best thing to do with GLP-1 agonists is to do it very carefully, to use it as a longevity medicine, to use it as the help that you need to navigate through life and all the distractions that it is going to throw at you, whether it is in the form of food or whether it is in the form of stress or whether it is in the form of just aging. Whatever is your battle at your wherever you are in your current form of existence, what are the medications that will assist you, what is the dose that is going to help you, is something that we're going to discuss today. So hello, for those of you who do not know me, this is Dr. Sofia Din. I am a board certified medical doctor in New York, and I am your longevity person to speak to. If you have any questions, you can please you're most welcome to post in the comments, and if they are appropriate questions that I can help you with, I'd be happy to assist you. So if you would like to talk about something, please go ahead. I am a longevity doctor. If you like your body, if you like the way it feels, the way it functions, and you want to preserve that function or improve that function for yourself for a long, long time, then you sometimes meet somebody like me. If you develop a disease or a sickness, you have to see other kinds of doctors. However, to just preserve your health, wellness, form, function, and stay attached to versions of yourself that work the best in your favor, then you come and meet somebody like me. So my ideal client, my ideal person is somebody who is a health and fitness follower, a follower of health and fitness and beauty. Those are my people. People who want their bodies to last them for a long, long time. Those are my people. So my personal favorite age group are usually people who are pausing. So that means that whatever is your health issue, they're like experiencing a pause or a lag or some kind of a issue that is keeping them away from completely manifesting the health and wellness and ability and possibility that their body holds for them in this lifetime. So those are the people who are like stuck in a pause. I help them. They're my people. I help them get unstuck and get back into the flow of things. So whether it is your body's health that's pausing or if it is your body's beauty that's pausing, we figure out which organ needs resuscitation and we bring it back to life and we bring it back to the age you want it to. So that being said, Today we're talking about my most favorite, newest medication on the block called GLP-1 agonists. Now, what are GLP-1 agonists? You might, like, if you live on this planet, you may have heard, and it is 2025. I am sure somewhere you have heard names like Ozempic, Wegovy, Tirzepatide, semaglutide. These are basically sugar neutralizers, and these medications help you a lot. These medications are designed to take care of a lot of your problems. And I like to call these medications and their usage amongst people, and I've given it a name of skinny games, because we are basically using these medications to help you remove unwanted weight. So that is basically helping you gain control over your fat cells. So your fat cells in your body, in the realm of your body, your fat cells are an organ by themselves. So just know that. And it's a good place to start. So first, understanding your fat cells will allow you to understand how GLP-1 agonists work and why it is important to keep them as a supplement in your longevity medicine, longevity goals. And something like this medication, so this medication is best used currently as an injectable. It's a tiny little shot. It's a weekly shot that basically releases you from hunger, from cravings for sugar, from cravings for alcohol, for any sort of craving that you find to be distracting enough to be bordering on the edge of abnormality. So if you wish to release yourself from your cravings, whether they're alcohol related cravings or smoking related cravings, and this medication is currently being tested for all of these cravings, because in our brain, in the human brain, there is like an area which is, I like to call it Area 51. It is an area that controls your cravings. So when this area is hyperactive and stimulated, it makes you crave something so bad. So whether it's this, for some people that could be money, for some people that could be alcohol, for some people that could be addiction to love, or being loved. For some people it could be addiction to food. For some people it could be addiction to stress. Guess what? People are addicted to stress. So there are people who would just go and seek. Addictions don't have to be good. Like anything that is just too much for you or just makes you sick and you just can't relieve yourself from that distraction, that is a bad addiction. So that Area 51 in your brain that holds the keys to all your addictions gets relieved and unlocked by certain doses of these medications. So at a very low level, at a very low dose, it will release you from food addiction. At a different dose, it will release you from alcohol addiction. At a different dose, it will release you from any other addiction that you may have, whether it is money, food, sex, love, whatever else you are addicted to. So it will just relieve you. And it will allow you agency and control over your actions. So whatever is the problematic action in your life. So for most people that I know who have health related problems have addiction to food in the time that we live in. And the reason that we are addicted to our food is because, first of all, food is very easily available, and most of the food that is currently available in the markets is not pure. And not only it's not made as nicely as we used to make it, but also the food companies are now adding preservatives and things and sugars that to the food that make people go crazy, because sugar is also a very toxic substance. Sugar is almost as bad as alcohol for your system. And In a little bit, in a little amount, it may do very good for you because it's very quick source of energy. However, too much of it, the way we are consuming it in our modern time, we need to basically help ourselves in the way where sugar is okay. When you consume it all the time, it can create a lot of diseases in your system. Basically, it starts eating your system from inside. It oxidizes your system. So not only the inside of your organs are going to feel bad, but also it has a terrible impact on your brain. And since we're making humans last much longer with modern medicine, we're trying to keep you alive for a lot longer. If your internal system, including your brain, is fully fried with sugar by the time you're 60, 70, it becomes very hard for you to live your life with agency in the last 10 years. And that's when people become a burden on society and their children. Even though by the time you're 70 or 80, your brain is working the best. That's when you've accumulated so much wisdom and so much experiential wisdom, that at that time it is super sad to actually watch people disintegrate just because we have not figured out how to take care of this system to last them that long, and they start losing many of the functionalities that their organs should be holding on to still. So, is this possible? Yes. Now, with the assistance of some of these medications, it is going to become possible for humans to just keep a hold onto their systems much longer, and also to avoid the distractions of food and alcohol or things that do not serve us beyond a certain point. A very important question right now that somebody has asked me is, how often do you need to see a doctor while you're on GLP-1 agonists? So that is a very important question. I know a lot of people who are procuring these medications from wherever they can find them. So people are getting it from different countries, people are getting it from different cities. Many times people are just like purchasing them and they don't even know what dose it is and how it is, like how to regulate it. So because in United States, if you're in United States and your medical insurance is not going to cover it, then you'll have to go and procure it from someone. So you have to make sure that it is like you're getting it from somebody who is able to bring to you the medication as regulated by the controlling drug agencies. So I basically tell people that try to see a doctor at least once a month. So the insurance, if you're getting it through your medical and health insurance, first of all, congratulations. You won the lottery, because if you are on this medication through your insurance and your insurance covers it, first of all, you have a very good insurance. Number two, they're good in the sense that they're spending this money on you because they know that this will allow you, by investing in this medication, you will not get sick, and they won't have to spend a lot more on your other organs because this medication will help you. So first of all, congratulations. Number two, if your health insurance is giving it to you, they probably want you to see your doctor at least once a month. Every month you'll have to go and see in person. You have to be weighed, you have to check your blood pressure, you have to talk about your symptoms, and then the doctor will either give you your medication. So it's like once a week shot. So you're gonna learn to take that shot yourself. So if you're somebody who's queasy about giving yourself a little shot, or you can't manage it, then make sure that you go and see the doctor once a week. However, if you don't mind giving yourself the shot, then you can see the doctor once a month. There are people I know who do not see a doctor even though they're on this super important medication that can change a lot of things inside your internal chemistry, and they don't go and bother to see a doctor. And that is like, I personally don't agree with that. I don't deal with those people who are non-compliant with our recommendations. But if you are somebody who is thinking of this medication, just make sure that you find a doctor close to you, or like somebody who you trust, and you get to them at least once a month. For this particular medication, in my practice, we offer Saturday appointments because for most people, that's the only day that they're off and they can spend time and worry about their own selves. So, because they're not at work. Why is it so important to start a GLP-1 agonist treatment during menopause or andropause? That's a good question. So, menopause is an all system pause which women face sometimes in their 40s, at other times in their 50s. And it is like an all system pause where your brain, your mind body connection, your beauty, your energy, your fat cells, your ovaries, your hormones, everything goes in disarray. And everything is out of alignment and your body starts seizing. So basically, it's perimenopause is a condition that lasts in a human body, of a female human body, for at least 5 to 10 years before actual pause happens. Sometimes perimenopause can happen after childbirth in even like really young girls, and we see it all the time that young girls, after one or two children, their metabolic system gets destroyed. They cannot get back to their original form and function. Even when brain function gets impacted, and they just are foggy and they're broken. It breaks them. So if childbirth breaks you and you get into a state of perimenopause or menopause, that also is the pause. And GLP-1 agonists can become useful for those ladies also. But again, because the pause, which is generally defined as a hormonal dysfunction and imbalance inside your system, is actually also a metabolic pause. And what it does is that it just makes your fat cells behave so abnormally that your body starts gaining weight, and it is almost impossible. I've seen for women, it's almost impossible for them to remove that weight, no matter how much they exercise, no matter which diet they will go on. They go on these yo-yo diets. I see women suffer with that all the time. And that is the pause that you need to be able to get yourself out of now with the help of GLP-1 agonists. And I call it a supplement for your pauses. And do you need to stay on it? I don't think so. So if you're very young and you just got into this pause because of childbirth or some other catastrophe in your life, that's different. You can use this medication for a couple of months and then let your body deal with it. However, if you are somebody who is in the pause because it's that time of that phase, you're now entering that phase in life where the body is naturally programmed to experience that pause, because a pause is basically an indication for your system to eject itself from the matrix of fertility and life, because your functionality is over as far as the universe is concerned. So at this point, because we're making you last much longer than your pause, we are trying to make women healthy again so they can be of use in other ways. And that's when GLP-1 agonists should become a routine supplement in your pause, so that it doesn't arrest the functionality of your body at a time when you're not ready. So it allows you agency over how you will experience the health of your system. I hope that makes sense, but if you don't understand, please ask the question again. Yeah, so it is important to start this because it will lift your body out of its metabolic pause. This is a breath mandala, and it is Sunday. So if you're listening to me, please follow this and breathe in, hold your breath, and breathe out. This is going to allow you to breathe in and breathe out as you listen to my medical lecture. What can I expect during a weight loss treatment process at Giovanni? So GLP-1 agonists will make your fat cells normal and young again. and basically the sugar that was making it abnormal, since that will be neutralized, your fat cells will stop hoarding all the energy that you feed yourself. The fat cells will stop hoarding that energy and basically release that energy back into your system. That will indicate to your brain to stop feeding yourself, because many times you will still remain hungry and not feel satiated, because you will feel that your fat cells will not stop releasing the energy into the system. So when the fat cells release that energy back into the system, your brain gets satiated fast, and even if there is a mountain of food in front of you, your brain will tell you that you don't need it, and you don't get distracted by the lure of food, or you'll actually find it not not interesting at all. And many people just and sometimes your brain communicates with your body via nausea. So many times I know I see people who tell me that they look at food and they're like, I can't eat. And even if there is the food that they used to eat before and love it, they will have like 2 bites of it and they'll be like, okay, because the brain is like, that's it. You don't find that dopamine hit from food anymore. And that's a very, very good thing that people experience with this medication. Again, the first 2 weeks when you start this medication, one of the things that people will experience is like morning sickness, where morning sickness, except that it's like all the time, especially when you're around food. And that is something that completely resolves by the 3rd and 4th week. And you can experience it again if you increase the doses, because we try to keep it at doses that agree with your body and that take you to the goal weight. And then once you've reached the goal weight, then you can space these treatments apart. And that's that. Do you recommend doing other anti-aging treatments during GLP-1 agonists? Yes. So GLP-1 agonist is like, if you know what Botox is something, it's like an anti-aging medication for your skin. GLP-1 agonists are like Botox for your fat cells. They basically relax your fat cells. However, this medication does not eliminate your fat cells. Your fat cells remain there. So if there are areas in your body where the fat cells have abnormally accumulated over a very long period of time, and they shouldn't be there because they're not healthy, they appear a certain way, whatever is the reason, then especially in the midriff of your body, carrying too much fat over there is super unhealthy for your system. So if you're one of those people, then not only you should be on a GLP-1 agonist, but you should also consider some non-surgical removal and elimination of fat treatments, which at my office we offer in the form of a cryo therapy device called Cool Sculpting, which is FDA cleared to remove fat by targeted cooling sessions, which people do sometimes once a year, sometimes every couple of years, just to remove excess fat that tends to accumulate during your paused life. So if you're a female who has paused, or a male who has so men also go through the pause. It's called andropause. It's a little later than in women. So women usually experience a pause in their 50s, and men usually start experiencing the pause in their 60s. So when their body starts malfunctioning due to just aging. So when men pause, they also need GLP-1 agonists, and they also tend to gain weight very quickly. They get hurt very quickly. They all their internal systems fail to renew itself fast enough. So they should also be on GLP-1 agonists. And yes, while you're on it, we do offer certain other treatments to just promote your wellness and to support you in other ways, because since we're controlling your appetite centers, We don't want you to become, at a cellular level, deficient in certain things. And that is something that is a very important part of your longevity plans. That as you are controlling your appetite, we don't want you to become depleted at a cellular level, because your cells do not care what is in your check-in account. What they care is how many elements are available to them to protect themselves, to carry on their daily routines, to protect, to assist your immune system and other functions. Basically, every cell of your body has full throttle engines going on at all times. So as you go on GLP-1 agonist and the feeding frenzy is over, we still want you to be completely on point with all your supplements and definitely all your feedings that are absolutely necessary. Another question that people ask me is like, what kind of diet should people be on when they're on GLP-1s, and when we are already supplementing them with the oral or intravenous supplements that we think is very important for their skin and hair and other bodily functions. And what I tell people is that make sure that you take enough protein, some carbs, some veggies, some fiber, so that your gut biome, which by the time you're experiencing menopause and andropause, your gut biome has retired, at least semi-retired. It's not working all day long. It is only working maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. And it is not going to let anything enter your system without, anything enter your system that it does not recognize. So, that being said, your gut biome is pretty much as jaded as you are. So, by the time you're in your 50s or 60s. So, it's very important to feed yourself not only intuitively, but also feed yourself things, discuss with your nutritionist or your whoever is your doctor, and then just make sure that you have a plan of taking adequate protein, adequate salads and fiber, and some minerals and nutrients that you should be taking every day for the health of your gut biome. Because remember, your gut has a brain of its own. And for best functionality and for best mind-body connection, your gut should be in alignment with where your brain is headed. So any malfunction or misalignment between these two will manifest as some form of disease. If it hasn't hit you yet, it will hit you. So again, riding on a GLP-1 agonist is not a joke. It is important. It's not child's play. And if people who actually go on it thinking that it is like some appetizer they're having from their grocery store without any supervision, are not doing themselves a favor. It's good just that decision, an uninformed and uneducated decision, will probably backfire. And I have seen people use it incorrectly and start manifesting results that were not desirable. Anyway, is it important to change my habits when I'm on a GLP-1 agonist? GLP-1 agonist is not some miracle drug that's going to change your life by itself. It is a tool that we have discovered which allows us to age with a little more agency. That's all. So it's a tool. You have to learn to use it, and yes, it will make it easier to make the right decisions for yourself. However, GLP-1 agonist is not going to make you go and want to do workout or want to go for a walk or want to do weight training or want to do protein. It's not going to make you want to go and hydrate. All of those things you have to do. It's not going to go and make you want to go and brush your teeth every day. Those are good habits that most likely many of our ancestors didn't have, but in our time and our place in this world, these are important things, and we all must try to do the best thing that we can for our body. So yes, GLP-1 agonist is just a tool for you to live your life a little better. How did you discover GLP-1 agonists? So I was very fortunate. I went to this birthday party of a friend of mine, and I got seated right in front of an anti-aging doctor who was working on this particular medication at Mount Sinai in Manhattan. And he was telling me about how this drug is changing the way we are experiencing diabetes. And initially it was this like most important drugs, almost all important drugs of our century were accidental discoveries. This was also an accidental discovery, and when they were testing it and doing different trials on it, they realized they didn't think that this is gonna be this impactful. But just like Botox was an accidental discovery, GLP-1 agonist is also an accidental discovery. And then once they started looking at all the benefits that it was doing, it was giving to people, they were just flabbergasted. They were just blown away. So again, I was very fortunate that in its early discovery time, when all this information was first being found out, I was just in the company of people who were actually working on this medication. And that is one of the reasons that I was one of the people who were the early adopters of this and early believers in the power of this medication. And I think that I agree with some of the doctors who believe that there is like a push to make GLP-1 agonists available for all, not just the few people who are seriously diabetic and unaware of how many ways this thing is useful. How can we prevent the Ozempic phase during a GLP-1 agonist treatment? It's very important. So since GLP-1 agonists impact your fat cells, and the inner lining of your skin is made up with fat. So when you lose fat inside your from under the skin, your skin can sometimes lose its fabric and its structure, and thus appear lax, and sometimes certain parts of your face, your visible face, your public facing face start sagging, and people start looking older than their age because they've just lost weight so fast and they've not done anything for their face. So usually what ends up happening is that people need to, because remember, if you're doing these treatments during menopause, already your beauty is pausing because your body is no longer producing fresh collagen. So when if you're doing these treatments as part of weight loss programs during your menopause, it is usually a very good idea to also do skin tightening treatments, and sometimes to replace whatever collagen has been lost, just aesthetically appropriate ways under your skin. And sometimes the skin tightening treatments are usually non-surgical, which we like to tell people is to just increase your skin tightening treatments so that it's basically is going to recharge your skin, and where your skin will just come back to life. So these are basically frequencies of sound that we place under your skin, and that allows your skin to just get reprogrammed, and we basically bend time in your favor and bring you back in time. So we try to not let you sag and lose the elasticity of your skin. So yeah, that's how you avoid Ozempic phase. So when you calculate the cost of GLP-1 agonist, I definitely recommend to everyone that as you are calculating the cost of treatment, make sure that you add the cost of skin tightening and the nutrients that you'll have to place for your skin and hair in your system. Because one of the things other than the Ozempic phase that people are also experiencing is hair loss. Because if you're not feeding your skin is going to experience aging. And hair loss is one of the earliest signs of skin's aging. So, and it's very common with people because one of the first things that your skin cuts resources for is hair when it feels depleted. So if your skin is feeling depleted and you're losing hair, that means that you need to fix your nourishment of the system. So again, so what role do energy-based devices play in skin tightening? Yes, a lot. All the non-surgical treatments that are currently available for the skin are energy-based, and these are devices which allow us to put the energy back into your organ and basically help it revive itself and recharge itself. Imagine just recharging different area by area of all your treatment. I have done skin tightening treatments on the whole body. People need to do it on the whole body because your skin is encompassing your entire body, and so it needs to be tightened all over the body, and any place that you're not going to tighten it will experience cellulite wherever you don't tighten it. And yes, you can maybe delay the appearance of cellulite and sag by working out a lot and improving your muscle and everything, but you may still get, at some point you may be facing the laxity and sagginess of the skin just because your skin is growing all the time, and that growth needs to be arrested after a certain point, after you're fully grown. Then it just like, your skin is only programmed to grow a certain point. After that, it can't support itself. So once you're fully grown, you need to stop the further growth and reprogram your skin every 6 to 9 months. So currently the frequencies that we're placing under your skin last you only 9 months. They even in the transducers that we carry, the cases that we carry that energy to deposit under your skin, even the transducers last 9 months. So when we place that energy under your skin, in your skin also it lasts 9 months. So that's the reason that we tell people to do it at least twice or thrice in a year, depending on where you are in time. So if you're like very young, in your 20s and 30s, you may not need it as often. But when you get into your 50s and 60s and 70s, you need it a lot more, a lot more. Everything becomes more complicated and complex and recurrent when you're older. Listen, life doesn't get easy when you get old. It becomes harder. It becomes trickier, and maintaining your balance, maintaining your internal chemistry becomes trickier as you get deeper into time. And however, no matter how tricky it gets, if you have a good longevity medicine doctor, that person should be able to help you in navigating your path and making sure that you do not make stupid mistakes. Of course, we learn from our mistakes, but do we have to make all of the mistakes ourselves? Sometimes the smart people can learn from the mistakes of others. Please check out my lunch in my bird mug. And this is a protein smoothie, which is from Kachava. I get this protein shake powder from Kachava, which is a brand. And we add some fruit and some apple cider vinegar and some greens to it, and it's great. It gives you like at least 25 to 30 grams of protein plus fiber. It can be a meal replacement. Tell us more about your favorite treatment in Giovanni. So Giovanni is like a body shop, like a human body shop. So we do treatments for every part. We have lasers, we have energy devices, we have cooling devices for removal of fat, we have hair restoration devices, we have skin tightening devices. However, my favorite treatment in the office is an intravenous infusion, which is so beneficial. It is like in the realm of your body, it's like an oil change, and people love it. It's something that you do once or twice a month, and it's great for skin. I call it skin food with 0 calories, where you give like a Thanksgiving Day meal for your skin and hair, and it has no caloric value, but it has value. It's like your body recognizes these elements and they are so important. So that's my favorite treatment. Because of this treatment, what like after becoming board certified multiple times over, I ended up also going and learning nursing so that I can set up infusions and do all these things by myself without requiring extra help. So, in the intravenous infusion, one of the things that I think is very important and that everybody should try to get it are the antioxidants. So not only you should do all the B vitamins and some liver cleanse or some magnesium or stuff like Myers cocktail. On top of all of that, what I totally recommend to people is antioxidants and full antioxidant support, because that becomes like really important for your immune system, and it allows your immune system. It's like, think of your body as a state, and your antioxidants are in your for your immune system like your police and your army. So when you place these things inside your body, that it's gonna go through your system, make sure that everything is in order. If there are any dysfunctional cells like that are becoming cancerous or that are not functioning the way in a positive way for your system, and they're removed or destroyed and removed. So it's very important. So antioxidants are super important for the infusion, and there is no way for you to take them because these are water soluble vitamins. If you take them orally, they get denatured in your stomach through your acid, through the stomach acid, which is supposed to actually decontaminate whatever you place inside your system. So during that stomach bath, where your stomach churns your food and mixes it with the acid to make sure that there is no harmful bacteria or parasites or things entering via the food that you're placing, that's just a security detail inside your system. So when the food actually gets in front of your gut biome, it's pure, it's clean. So by the time the water soluble fragile little molecules, they go through that acid bath in your stomach and they reach the gut biome, they're completely in tatters. Your gut biome cannot recognize anything because they've lost their identifiers and whatever during that acid bath. So because most of the vitamins, water soluble elements are denatured in the gut, that's why things just never get to the rest of the system when you're older. Because as you get older, your gut biome is more jaded, and it doesn't even care what's outside, because it's just spending its life and the remaining days in peace. It just takes the protein it needs, and the rest it just lets pass. So that is the reason that these vitamins intravenously become super essential, especially when you're on a GLP-1 agonist, where we are turning down the volume of your appetite. Also, during menopause, all of these vitamins become essential, especially women who are experiencing immune deficiencies or autoimmune conditions or hair loss or just metabolic pause or any kind of the skin has lost its luster or whatever is pausing. A lot of women develop like brain fog during this period of time, and all of that can not be restored until we fix your internal chemistry, and that chemistry changes when you do infusions. So your infusionist is a very important person. It's a very important person. Make sure that your infusions are pure. They do not have too many preservatives in it. People should treat them like fresh vegetables. That's what I say. So yeah, and if you can't eat too many vegetables and fruits all the time, then go and spend money on an infusion. I think that people who are going to do the infusions for you are going to be the chefs of your future. The chefs of our future will have restaurants where you can have some knickknacks, and also on the other side you should have like an infusion going in you, you know, because if we start taking that, we're not going to be too much of a burden on this planet, even though we will increase in numbers. One of the things that's about to happen, which is going to happen next month, is the launch of our lasers. Guys, at Giovanni, where I work, we lock our lasers away during the summer months and during even the late spring months. We take our lasers out, especially for skin resurfacing, on October 10th. So 10/10 and 10/11 are launching our laser days. And if you're somebody who is white or who suffers from pigmentation or something like that, and you need to clear your skin from different, ailments, including pigmentation or rosacea or acne or just sun damage, and you want to remove the burns and toxic elements that have accumulated through in your skin over the year, this October is the time to start. So Oktoberfest at Giovanni is all about lasers, especially on your exposed parts of the skin, which is for most people their face, neck, décolleté, and hands. Celebrities are doing a lot of treatments these days, and thankfully many of them, after going the other way and just like screwing their features up, they have come back to some of the basic non-surgical and minimally treatments. And these are the skin tightening treatments. A lot of stars love the infusions, they love the GLP-1 agonists, and supplements are very, very big. And everybody has to find their supplement wala, just like there is a chai wala, which is a very desi term for tea, the person who's bringing you the tea, the kind of tea that you like. Again, the supplement wala is somebody who's going to bring you your supplements, whether they're oral or they're intravenous. And you'll have to find your supplement wala or wali. And the best supplement wala will be a medical doctor. There you go. They'll be the best ones, because they'll be the ones who'll be able to get it inside your system intravenously. If they can't get it inside your system intravenously, I don't know. You got to keep looking then. Yay, we did it. Now, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.